In this video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown guide of how to change your ADHD life in a year. Hi, I'm Dr. LeGrand, and this is exactly what I do with my patients and clients. So step one when it comes to really changing your ADHD life and how you can do it in a year, and really how I discovered it for my ADHD is to do extensive lab testing to understand what's really going on, of the root cause of why you have all these different ADHD symptoms, of why you can't be motivated, why you can't focus, why you can't be productive. Then you have to understand there is definitely imbalances. And some of these imbalances that we have to look at, and some of these labs we have to look at, is definitely one is looking at hormones, looking at the variety of different cortisol imbalances that you might be having that can impact your energy, your focus, and even your stress levels. On top of that, even looking at your progesterone, your estrogen, your testosterone, even DHEA that can impact all your different hormones, but impact your ADHD brain. So it's important to look at this, even looking at a thyroid panel that can cause a lot of similar ADHD symptoms, which I do see a lot with my ADHD patients. On top of that, there is a whole slew of different micronutrients that a lot of people with ADHD tend to really be deficient in. And by looking at this first can really identify what are the next steps that you need to be taking, and even look at your gut microbiome. These are things that also can impact, in fact, 90 to 95% of our neurotransmitters. So our brain chemistry, things such as like dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine, are actually made in the gut. And if your gut health is not working properly, you should be running some testing to understand why your gut isn't functioning properly. And on top of that, it is important to understand where are the imbalances in your neurotransmitters and amino acids that actually build those specific neurotransmitters. Testing for that can really shed a lot of light of which specific ones can explain a lot of your issues with your focus, motivation, depression, anxiety, sleep issues, low energy, whatever it is. Definitely those can shed a lot of light by testing this. Now, step two is once you actually see the evidence and actually understand all the imbalances of the different tests and lab testing that show you the deficiencies, show you whether it's high or elevated. Now you have a clear picture of what to do next. And the next thing to do is really overhaul and improving on the foods that you're consuming. So if you are deficient in specific areas, either you could definitely certainly use supplementation to get your biochemistry back into balance, because that's the whole point of this, is bringing your brain chemistry and your biochemistry back into balance. Because once you can bring it back into balance, guess what? The body can heal itself. The body can start healing the brain and having that optimal mind, that optimal health that you are seeking for. But it all requires first having the evidence of the testing, of the lab testing, and then implementing and using a more customized approach to your treatment. So when you see if you have specific vitamin deficiencies, such as B vitamins or even zinc or iron, magnesium, you're going to want to improve nutrients that can actually improve those deficiencies. But it also might be hormones, and it might be some other things that you might need to use specific supplements to address that. And that is really how you could change your ADHD life in just less than a year. Step three, it definitely takes more than just improving your diet. We also have to improve our lifestyle to really change our ADHD life. And some of the most important things that you want to continuously look at is definitely getting good quality sleep. If you're not getting good quality sleep, then you're sabotaging all that you're trying to do with your treatment plan, because sleep is going to allow us to have good brain chemistry throughout the day. It's going to give us the capacity to have good focus and clarity of mind, as well as good energy. Along with that is exercise. Having a good exercise regimen, I have found this being so important to my ADHD and to a lot of my patients. With that 20 minutes can make a big difference within your ADHD health, because it's going to not only, yes, strengthen your muscles and all other different benefits with exercise, but also increase blood circulation, nutrients to your brain, causing circulation to go to your brain, so that way you can have oxygen. All these things are going to help you to be focused and motivated throughout the day. And this is why it's critical to be implementing something like exercise as well as sleep. The fourth step, and this is really important, you can implement all the good stuff that are going to change your ADHD life. You don't remove the toxic things that put you here in the first place of making your symptoms even worse, then everything that you've done is all sabotaged. So the first thing that you need to remove is definitely the bad eating habits that you do have. I'm not here to say that you need to get rid of all bad food. I think food is important to enjoy. I always tell people apply the 80-20% rule, which is eat 80% of the good stuff that you should be consuming, and then 20% eat whatever you want. So what are these things that you should be removing? Well, definitely, how often are you actually eating junk food? How often are you going out into restaurants and fast foods? How often are you having soda drinks? All these things that we do know such as sugar, junk food, processed foods, anything packaged. If it isn't a Whole Foods, I would consider it a more in the bad category and try to cut and reduce that, because otherwise you're going to be sabotaging everything that you were trying to do in the last steps to improve your ADHD life. Step number 5, along with removing toxic foods, is also removing toxic environments that we're exposed to every day, whether that is living in a house next to a factory, being exposed to air that is very toxic, but also removing toxic environments such as stress, bad relationships that are abusive relationships, or being in a relationship with friends, or even at work. If your work environment is very toxic and causing you much stress, depression, anxiety, it isn't going to be good for your ADHD health. It is going to help you change your ADHD life of the life that you want to live. So what I suggest here is do the best you can as quickly as possible to remove yourself from those toxic relationships, those toxic environments, whether that's at work or any other environment. Remove those stressors, because it's going to sabotage everything from all the steps that I talked about previously. It's going to destroy it. And so I would say this is probably one of the most critical things that you could possibly do if you really want to change your ADHD life. Now, if you need further guidance, I have a free ADHD guide in the description below that explains all the different testing, all the different foods you should be implementing that I talked about in this video. So go ahead and download that in the description below. Now, step 6, now that you've changed your biochemistry and your body and your body chemistry back into balance because you've implemented all the steps from steps 1 through 5, now you're able to actually focus, be more motivated because you've implemented all those steps. And this is why a lot of people with ADHD have a hard time implementing strategies or self-improvement guides, or even things that they get recommended from their coaches, because they haven't changed their biochemistry. But now that you've changed your biochemistry, I do encourage you to start implementing self-improvement, hiring a coach, hiring someone that can keep you accountable to implement, to be better at work, be better in your relationships. Seek for these guidance, because investing in yourself and making self-improvement is important. But we got to change the biochemistry first. So if you've already done steps 1 through 5, then you're ready to do this. Now, step number 7, to really make a difference and make sure it's continuous. Like, you got the great results, you gotten the changes that you've implemented for your ADHD, doing the lab testing, and then implementing the treatment, implementing the nutrients, and implementing the good lifestyle changes and removing toxic behaviors. You want to make sure it's continuous. We do sometimes fall off the bandwagon. Sometimes we'll get into bad habits, myself included, where we'll eat not so great, and it depends on the season. And we need to definitely retest and look at our labs again to be able to see, okay, is any of them gotten worse? Have they gotten better? We also want to double check, are the things that we're implementing making a difference in our biochemistry and our brain chemistry, so that we're on the right type of treatment. And this is what makes the biggest difference, is to make the fine tuning and to make this continuously to having the results throughout your entire life. Now, step 8 is definitely a more advanced step, because what this really requires to not only take it to another step with your ADHD health, but your overall health. If you really want the optimal health and feeling always energized, feeling happy, just feeling just clean, and just feeling like you're invincible, that your body is like young again. In order to do so, it really does require doing advanced detoxification on a regular basis. So what are some advanced detoxification strategies? This can be intermittent fasting. It could be getting rid of sugar for a month or so. It also can be implementing things such as like doing a full cleanse detox, where it's maybe just veggie based with some detoxification herbs. Something I do a lot with my patients, but doing this on a regular basis, not just, one time a year, but doing it on a regular basis where it's maybe quarterly, or even you're doing intermittent fasting every day. Things like this can make a big difference within the impact of your health and your ADHD health, and definitely will make changes in your life that you feel that you're living a very fulfilled life that you want and you desire. Step 9, and I think this is really important when it comes to our ADHD health and continuing just having that fulfilled life and that satisfied life that we want with our ADHD, is definitely gratitude. So by this point, we definitely have made changes. We've definitely been able to improve our body chemistry because we've done all the steps up to this point. Now it's really, we need to focus on gratitude, things that we're grateful in life, because gratitude definitely makes changes, along with also your spiritual growth. Having spiritual connection, depending on what your religious beliefs are, whether that is belief in nature, belief in God, all these different things. For me, God is a very important part of my aspect of my spiritual growth and also my healing. Having that connection to a higher being or higher power definitely can take you to another level of feeling that you're not alone, that there's someone that is actually there and guiding you and helping you through these struggles and challenges, but also being grateful for the things. In fact, doing a practice of writing 3 things down that you're grateful for every day has proven scientific evidence that helps people be more hopeful, more happy, and also more satisfied with life because they do this practice of writing down 3 things that they're grateful for every single day. And number 10, I think this is probably one of the most important things, is learn to love yourself and learn to also love others. By loving yourself first, I mean, you can't love others until you've loved yourself first. By this time, I would hope that you've been able to change your body chemistry for your ADHD so that you can actually make a difference and an impact in the world. So by loving yourself, you can love others and serve others. By serving your community, by serving those who are also in need, and possibly even serving those who also have challenges with ADHD or other disabilities that you can help, because now you figure it out for yourself, and I'm hoping that you can give back to community and helping and serving others, because this will change your ADHD life for good. If you follow all these steps that I mentioned in this video, it will change your life within a year. Now, if you need more detail about how to specifically change your ADHD life and the specifics of the different testing and things to make a difference, then watch this video next, and I'll see you in that video.